Welcome everybody to part 2 of the Kukirin scooter testing. We're going to be top speed and hill climb testing on the G2 Master, the G3 Pro, and the Kukirin G4. Alright, this is our speed test, dual motor mode, Kukirin G2 Master. A little bit of spin off the line. Up to 35 already. 37. Today we're going to be testing the speed and acceleration between the G2 Master, G3 Pro, and the Kukirin G4. Looks like my top speed here on the G2 Master is about 34, 35 miles an hour according to GPS, 37 on the scooter. Interesting. All right, well that's that. So this was our speed test for the G2 Master. It's like 10 miles per hour in 2.3 seconds, 20 miles per hour in 4.62 seconds, 30 in 9.42 seconds, top speed of 36 in 17 seconds. We did get to 35 in 12.7. Let's do a little hill climb test on this thing, and then we'll grab the G3 Pro and do the same test. Your results may vary. I also have the tires and all the scooters pumped up to 42 PSI. I checked that before I left. All right, let's stop at the bottom of this hill here. I'm gonna put my front tire to the beginning of this brick part. All right, here's our Kukirin G2 Master hill climb test. We're flooring it right now in speed mode 3, dual motor. We had full charge on the scooter when we left the house. This is a very steep hill for the record. Might not look steep to you because you're on the hyper view mode of the GoPro. So here's the speed results for the G2 Master. Looks like 0 to 10 miles per hour in 2 seconds, 0 to 20 in 9.73 seconds, and our top speed was 21 miles per hour in 21 seconds. Not bad, really. Not bad for 1,100 bucks. I'm curious how the G4 and the G3 Pro are gonna perform. It's nice to ride around on this G2 Master though. It's so nimble, so lightweight. This has 10-inch tubed tires, by the way. I believe they're the 10 by 2.5 inch. Dual 1,000 watt motors on a 52 volt system with a 20 amp hour battery. The G3 Pro has got larger motors and a larger battery, so we should get considerably more top speed. This scooter weighs 72 pounds though, so we'll have to test it out against the G3 Pro. All right, here's our G3 Pro. Speed mode 3, dual motor. I did notice just riding to this location that we've got a much more pillowy ride. I never realized this thing's got better suspension than the G2 Master. As expected, slightly faster top speed. It just feels a bit better too. Honestly, a lot more stable. Anyway, let's check out the stats. So on the G3 Pro, we got to 10 miles per hour in 1.82 seconds, 20 miles per hour in 4.4 seconds, 30 in 9.98 with a top speed of 36 miles per hour. Very similar to the G2 Master, but faster acceleration. This one's 16.68 seconds to top speed. Actually, I lied. Top speed was 38 miles per hour in 24 seconds. Looks like the acceleration really tapers off after about 36 or 35, but then it does slowly get up to 24. Or 38 miles per hour. All right, let's go do the hill climb test now. This scooter is so much more relaxing to ride than the G2 Master. The G2 feels like really zippy and unruly. This thing is extremely stable, suspension's a lot more plush. The G2 Master does have a tire on the rear that's not exactly balanced properly though, so it's kind of going blub, 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 as it goes around, but still I can feel the suspension is very pillowy compared to that scooter. And I can't bottom it out either just by bouncing on it. I think the travel on this suspension is longer. That's gotta be what it is. This scooter again is 52 volts. We have dual 1200 watt motors on this one. and the battery is 24 amp hours. The scooter is 87 pounds, weighs 10 pounds more than the G2 Master. Let's see how it does up this hill. No wheel spin off the line. Voltage down to 51 volts. Lots of voltage sag on this thing. I feel like it is slowly building power though. It's not that much quicker than the G2 Master though, really. There you have it. Let's check the acceleration here. 0 to 10 in 1.8 seconds, 0 to 20 in 11.5 seconds, and top speed of 21 in 14 seconds. Did our quarter mile in 25 seconds. Or sorry, eighth of a mile in 25 seconds. Lots of voltage sag too. We left the house at 58 volts. I saw 51 when we were going up the hill. We're down to 56 now, so it means we used 2 volts doing our speed test and hill climb test. Now what I'm really curious about is how it performs against the 60 volt G4. That scooter felt really slow to me after riding the InMotion RS and GTR around, but these scooters are feeling pretty slow today too, so I don't know. Between the time I published my video on the G4 and now, I did see a couple pictures of the G4 stem just completely folded in half. Like the little metal aluminum piece just actually cracked at some point and bent in half while the guy was riding it in the middle of the stem. Pretty sketchy. I know that scooter goes around 40 miles per hour, so it's gonna have a much faster top speed, but how do we think it's gonna perform on the acceleration compared to these two? The G2 Master and the G3 Pro are both dual motor scooters, and the G4 is a single motor 2000 watt 60 volt scooter. All right, we're in race mode, all charged up on the G4. We've got the widest bars of the bunch, 3 inches wider than the G3 Pro. Very short though. Okay, this scooter goes the fastest of the bunch, and it just kind of builds. Come on, baby. Come on. There we go. This one goes 38, 37. The bars though, when I'm not crouched down, they are very short. My arms are fully extended. Not a huge fan of the build, as we all know, but it is powerful. It gets going the fastest of the bunch. Let's see how we did on acceleration. 0 to 10 in 2.15 seconds. 0 to 20 in 4.7, 0 to 25 in 6.8 seconds, 0 to 30 in 10 seconds. Pretty quick. And it built up to a top speed of 38 miles per hour in 22 seconds. Suspension that bottoms out all the time, but it is quick. There's no denying that. It doesn't have dual motor though, so we're probably not going to be able to hill climb on this thing for beans, but it's worth trying, right? Let's do it. Get over to the hill. And while it does have very similar acceleration and top speed specs compared to the other scooters, it is a lot smoother to accelerate. I like this throttle a lot. Oh, bottomed out the suspension right there. I feel like I'm gonna pop the tire on this thing someday soon. This one's got the 11-inch tubeless tires. They're a lot wider, bigger around than the G2 Master and the G3 Pro. So more rotational mass, but it does add to a smoother ride. So when the suspension isn't bottoming out, which is pretty frequently, it isn't bad. All right, let's hill climb test this thing. This is where this one's gonna struggle, I think. All right, hill climb test on the G4 here. Let's go, ready? Come on, Scoop, you can do it. You can do it. We're getting there. Ooh. Yeah, I think dual motor's just always gonna win on hills. Looking at 15 miles per hour on this one. Is there any cars behind me? No. Come on, baby. You can do it. You can do it. Well, we got our 8th mile already. Top speed of 17 miles per hour. We got there pretty quickly in 8 seconds. But that was it. The other scooters are faster. They're a dual motor, even though they have lower voltage. We did our 8th mile on this one in 30 seconds. It's pretty quick off the line still. It just kind of stops accelerating around 16, 17 miles per hour. But there you have it. Oh, this suspension is the worst of the bunch. If you are a shorter person, if you're not over like 6 feet, and where you ride is mostly flat and not bumpy, not very bumpy, like if you live in the middle of Kansas somewhere or Utah, you're just riding on flat, straight roads, I think it'd be worth it to save the extra couple $100 on this thing, as long as you're very careful about the maintenance on this G4. If you've got hills, or if you're taller and you want a smoother ride, go for the G3 Pro. If you want something fun and nimble and quick, the G2 Master is 10 pounds less and has very similar speed and acceleration characteristics to the G3 Pro. And it's a couple $100 cheaper. G2 Master also has those adjustable bars too, which is kind of cool. This scooter has a 60 volt, 20 amp hour battery, so it's gonna be pretty similar in size to the G3 Pro, because it's got a higher voltage. It's all about those watt hours. You gotta multiply the volts, nominal voltage, times the amp hours equals watt hours. And watt hours is the overall rule measurement of battery capacity. Oh man, suspension on this scooter just makes me feel very unsafe. You can probably hear it rattling away if I'll shut up. I don't know if I mentioned it or not in the ride, but this G4 is 82 pounds, so somewhere between the G3 Pro and the G2 Master. All right, let's take a look at the final results, starting with the speed test. The G2 Master was in first place with a top speed of 36, and it got us through our 1/8 of a mile in 17.16 seconds. In second place was the G3 Pro, a couple miles per hour faster on the top speed with our 1/8 of a mile in 17.37 seconds. Just doesn't quite accelerate as fast. And last place we have the G4, top speed of 38 also, but acceleration much slower to be expected on a single motor scooter of 18.3 seconds for the 1/8 of a mile, and 0 to 35 time looking pretty weak. All right, looking at the hill climb results, we can see the G3 Pro came in first place this time with a top speed of 21 miles per hour up the hill. It did the 1/8 of a mile in 25.09 seconds, just a hair faster than the G2 Master, got the same top speed, and the G2 Master was 25.17 seconds. And the G4, again, single motor compared to the other scooters, which are dual motor, top speed of 17 miles per hour and about 5 seconds slower on our 1/8 of a mile. So, in conclusion, for the price, I think the G2 Master hit the sweet spot, but if you need that extra little bit of speed or comfort, the G3 Pro is also a good choice. As always, thanks for watching, make sure to subscribe, and I'll see you for the next ride.